How do you podcast?
Oh, there we go. We're live.
We're live.
Oh, wait. No, pretend like you know what you're doing. So welcome to the Open Color Podcast. I am Corey Bullis with Michelle Sheth, Brian Karkner. Quick shout out to those live streaming on YouTube. Catch us on YouTube, youtube.com/GoVNC. Thanks for watching. For those listening on our podcast platforms, thanks for listening. I'd like to mention our partners here, 80stees.com. Check them out. Christmas is a couple weeks away, and they have some good Christmas stuff on there. So 80stees.com, enter the promo code OpenCollar30 at checkout, save yourself 30%. And then videoeta.com, get some Christmas specials and save yourself anywhere between 5 and 25% off movies. And so it's videoeta.com, enter the code COLLAR at checkout. So it's been 3 years since we podcasted, I think, last.
It's not like 2.5.
Back in my day.
Back in my day. What's everyone up to? Just living the life that is to be lived?
Yep. Mustache is gone.
My mustache is gone.
Beards are...
Beard. It is December beard.
And beard after all.
I raised my money.
Yeah, you got to your goal?
No.
Almost?
But I came close.
He's somehow in the negative.
I even set like a pretty low goal. I was like, this is reasonable. I'm still short. But there was a couple people who donated. Mostly ex-girlfriends that want to see me look hideous.
That's fair.
Big demand for that, actually. Big demand. So
it's crazy how that works out.
I think I'm gonna shift my marketing tactic next November
to the ex-girlfriend, right?
Yeah, to ex-girlfriend demographic.
We're just gonna promote to any women. Hey, women, check out this guy. Although I will say, yeah, your fucking picture will not leave me alone.
I do not understand what did you tag in it or something that
didn't do anything. People just keep clicking on my face.
I guess so. Why?
And as the more people comment, it just refreshes it for everybody.
I know, but
So
I think at one point it was like 4 days in a row that it was the first thing I saw, and it was still
that's the first thing you see in the morning.
Was still at,
I'm so sorry.
15 comments. I'm like, no, it's not even people commenting on it, because that's the first thing I thought too. It was just, someone's just writing something ridiculous on here again, and nope. I'm like, it's the same, and I did not understand. I want that power that you have.
That's what happens when you're a social media legend. Apparently. It's really just people making negative comments anyways. That some of that didn't have anything to do with the mustache itself. It's just hurtful comments. just about my general well-being.
Just some rage hall coming your way.
This isn't Movember talk at all. This is just pure hate.
Use that on Bell Let's Talk Day, Ryan.
That's right.
Yeah, it's okay.
Although if I see that picture on Bell Let's Talk Day, I'm gonna be doing some bullying. That's for sure.
we're pro bullying now.
Just make sure you text all that so they donate 5 cents.
Yeah. No,
that's a hard platform to defend. I'm actually.
You don't see many pro bullying stances.
Rudolph.
Yeah. Can we talk about the Baby It's Cold Outside?
We can.
Yes. My last episode is going to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Ranty.
Also when it causes a kerfuffle. To cause one's caught a fuffle.
A brouhaha.
Yeah. Just put your mics away. Ryan's got this.
Yeah.
Hold my beer moment.
Anyways, Christmas song. Have we gone too far? It was all fun and games until we attacked Christmas.
Oh, if you believe the United States, it's an attack on Christmas for the last decade. Happy holidays.
What did you say to me?
Don't you dare.
I never had a problem with happy holidays because you're
just including everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's inclusion.
But I mean, I'm good with happy holidays, but if I want to say Merry Christmas, I'm not changing my greeting for you.
I always have the instinct to reply back, I'm Jewish.
Yeah. I mean, if I say Merry Christmas and you say Happy Holidays, then I'm not going to be like, oh, I said Merry Christmas, say it back, cock gun. just I greeted it your way, you greeted it your way, or whatever.
That was just working at Starbucks just the past few years. There's always been a controversy at Christmas about language, like having the word Christmas anywhere on on any of the merchandise or anything like that. Like
the coffee, there's like Christmas blends,
Christmas blend coffee, and the gift cards that say Merry Christmas and stuff. There's also gift cards that say Happy Holidays, and
I mean,
like,
if you
can easily avoid it if you want to.
Yeah, but like, don't ruin it forever. Don't ruin Christmas.
Exactly, and it's just what, I don't know. For me, it was always if someone said Merry Christmas to me, I would say Merry Christmas back. If they said Happy Holidays, I said Happy Holidays. If they I just replied however they said it to me, because I don't know.
Yeah, I think I would do that too.
If someone's just wishing me a good time of year,
good festivity.
Insert this time of year, like why would I get salty about someone, being like, hey, I hope you're happy this season, and be like, no, I want you to say it a specific way, otherwise I will not be happy this season.
Season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
That's right. Well, then it's like you have the folks where you try to be more generic and call it Xmas, and then you piss off the Christians for doing that too, because now you're taking the point of the season out, right?
Yeah, you're taking out Christ.
Yeah. So what is your problem with Baby It's Cold Outside, Ryan?
First of all, it's Dean Martin, and I love Dean Martin.
Well, he's one of. He's not the songwriters. It was
no, but like he's like one of the singers.
Dino?
And I feel like he was like he would have like a short glass of whiskey and slap a girl on her behind, and maybe he was just a little behind the times. But it's an antiquated, we'll call it, holiday.
Whoa, $5 word there.
Yeah. Using a $5 word. And I think
you afford that?
And while I agree that some of the lyrics may be suggestive, if you really look into it and forget that it's about someone just being cold outside, and you want to look into the between the lines. It is. This poor person, it's cold outside. He's just like, hey, maybe there's a roofie in this drink, maybe there's not. But either way, you got to come inside because you're fucking freezing. It's just like, all right.
Have you looked at the lyrics?
I've looked at them a few times, actually.
Well, like, it's the one part. It says, you're very pushy, I like to think of it as opportunistic. That's one. I don't know.
But I mean, okay, but like under a 20, and we've had this conversation umpteen times before. Under a 2018 lens, we could go through all of the holiday ones and find something wrong with it.
Or any song that's on the radio now.
Exactly.
Like I don't want to single out rap songs, but they're also very suggestive and whatever.
Yeah, we don't have a problem with those. But because this is I think an easy target, because the song's been around for a long time, it's easy to kind of undermine the context of what it was supposed to mean back then and put it under a 2018 lens and be like, maybe this guy was trying to get into this girl's pants without this girl's consent, and using the weather as a failsafe might have been in poor taste.
I've read.
That's what you're going with.
This
we really keep focusing on weather.
It's literally, the title's literally called "Baby It's Cold Outside."
Yeah, but that's in reference to getting her to stay over at his house.
Yeah, doesn't want to see her freeze to death. I think that's very chivalrous.
Doesn't want her to go home at the end of the date.
Well, she can go home, but it's cold outside. Are you looking at the same set of lyrics I'm looking at, Corey?
So the things that I've read about
watching
it.
The 6:00 news and getting the weather forecast, and it's like, yeah, maybe you should stay.
So the thing, so I was reading kind of both sides of it, and a lot of the lyrics, I remember one article, it was just like a English teacher or whatever talking about specific lyrics. at that time. So when the song was written, girls were supposed to act a certain way, and whether they wanted to stay or not, they had to at least, give a little bit of pushback and kind of be coy and whatever. And then there's issues with the one lyric that's like, say what's in this drink. And they're saying, when the song was written, that had more to do with, not enough alcohol or something being in a drink, so that it might have been something along the lines of like, hey, there's like not even anything in here, but they're not, women were not supposed to say stuff like that back then. They were supposed to, back off and whatever stuff like that. And I don't know, maybe there was extra alcohol or a roofie or something in that drink. But there's also a lot of stuff about, she's like, oh, the neighbors will talk and whatever, and it was just she didn't want to be seen a certain way, as a certain type of woman. And it wasn't so much that, and so it's, it wasn't so much that she didn't want to stay or whatever. It was just that at that time, in that era, she wasn't supposed to as a woman. So she was trying to kind of say all the things that she was supposed to say before she was like, okay, fine, like I'll stay. I don't like the song itself. It's not really a Christmas song. It's a winter song, for me. Like, I don't understand why it's
happy winter.
Yeah. Like, it could be played in
any time of the year.
It could be played it could be played in February, and it would, there's
still
nothing
resonate.
Exactly. There's nothing in the song that's Christmas related, other than the fact that
it was written in 1944 for Frank Loesser's wife to sing at a housewarming party, and then it was sold to MGM and it made into a movie. It has just since then been
taken off,
and
it won an award.
Yeah. So,
but I do find it funny here is like they talk about the people in the song. They identify the male as wolf and the woman as mouse. So it's like the wolf preying on the mouse.
Yeah, that's kind of a.
Oh, that's how they identify the characters in this the history of the.
Yeah, that's a tough one to swallow. That's not a point in the win column for the song.
I just think that, like, I don't understand, the song and the song lyrics aside, I don't understand the like uproarious reaction about it. If you don't want to hear the song and it's on the radio, change the radio station. There's more than one option. If you do like the song and your specific radio station that you listen to does not play it, there's lots of other places to find that song. So like it's easy to avoid, and it's easy to get. So like whatever side you're on, just do you. That's don't tell radio stations not to play it just because you don't like it. Other people might. And don't don't tell radio stations to play it just because you do. Like, when there's a request, when they do all request lunch or whatever, sure, request it. That's what it's there for.
There's a fun question. If somebody requests the song specifically, do you think they'd play it?
Probably not. They probably just wouldn't.
They'll just edit out that request.
Exactly. That just wouldn't show up on the radio.
Okay, so like, let's put it this way. If somebody was like, okay, well, I want to hear Baby, It's Cold Outside. And they're like, no, I can't put that on.
Just get the hell out.
Yeah, and it's like, all right, can I hear Boats and Hoes by whatever, Will Ferrell, let's say? And it's like, oh yeah, no, that we can do. Like,
just put hose on boats, man.
There's a lot of shrugging in this argument.
Exactly.
Right?
And that's the thing. I'm like, how you can't kind of pick and choose what you want to be
offended at
and act. Yeah, exactly. If you hate, well, just like we were talking about Rudolph, if you hate bullying, you can't also just
Except
think that Rudolph is a wholesome kids situation.
Yeah.
Or even like something like the Grinch, it's a fan favorite for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But like
Grinch didn't
this
hate
guy,
Christmas. He just hated people, which is fair.
He hated commercialism.
And so like there's a lot of that you can't just be like, oh well, I like Rudolph, so that bullying's okay in that instance, but other times it's not. Or I happen to like this song, so I'm not going to worry about the lyrics for this one. But then other lyrics offend me. Like lyrics are lyrics. You can either listen, and it's a song. No one's forcing that song down anybody's throat.
And for me, I don't think, like, obviously it has to do with like the Me Too movement, and I don't think the playing or lack of playing of this song is just going to directly positively influence this movement.
And it's also not, no one's listening to that song now and thinking, hey, the song said I could do it.
No.
So like it's also, I don't know, who cares?
Yeah.
Hashtag who cares?
Hashtag who cares high score.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So that's all right. So we're good with that. We're good with that. Kevin Hart? Do we want to talk about Kevin Hart? Corey's been bugging me about this for a while.
I asked you if you heard about it. That's all I said.
He's been bugging me nonstop while I've been trying to work.
One time.
Yeah.
Well, I'll hold off. My opinion is very similar to my opinion with
Baby.
With Baby, yeah, and it more has to do with the reaction.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said to you, Ryan, is that his defiance to apologize over old comments just proves that that's his beliefs and that's what he stands by.
But I think so. His defiance.
He doesn't want his kid. He doesn't want his kid to be gay, so he said he'd beat him if he saw him playing with dolls.
He was. I don't know. So stuff I read about it was, that he had already addressed it, and he didn't feel the need to have to readdress it.
Well, Rolling Stone said where he said when he addressed it, has said like his addressing of it also was not apologizing.
No, he said it wasn't apologetic. It was something along the lines of like it was his insecurities that, it was. He's like he's not gonna not love his kid if he happened to be gay or whatever. But it was his insecurities, and that was, his way of dealing with it, joking about it in tweets or his stand-up routine or whatever it was. And, that he was just saying like, it happened however many years ago. He's addressed it. People change, people grow, people learn, whatever. It wasn't something that he tweeted out 3 days before he got picked to do the Academy Awards. It happened a long time ago, and he said, if people are willing to dig through tweets to find something like that from years ago, they should also have the same amount of energy put into finding the tweets that maybe not
show the opposite
or whatever. Yeah, that show
like
the opposite.
Show the opposite of his personality.
Yeah,
like, people don't
show,
want to do
or
that.
show his growth.
But you know what? But like media digging has always been that way. They always strive hard to look for the bad because looking for the it's a
this
story.
This only came up because he was deleting them after he got hired. He started going back into deleting those posts, which is what people noticed, and then that's when they started bringing them back.
How do you notice that? How do you notice a tweet go missing from like fucking X years ago? Who are these people?
Like you're waiting. You're baiting on it. You're waiting and seeing.
Well, he obviously knew that they existed if he was going back to find them, so it must be really easy to go Kevin Hart and then just put in.
There's got to be like somebody who has like a fucking menagerie of fucking tweets, and just goes, "Oh, this one just fell off the map. Like, what's going on here?"
There was an article I read talking about this. That there are, groups that have been doing this long before, like all this stuff started happening. Is what they would go to journalists and finding old quotes from magazines and things that just to set them up for like, hey, you guys, this guy's had this movie coming out. If you want to bring this up and start making an article, like,
it's like
these comments.
Exactly, it's the same thing. But no one's ever, no one's ever looking up stuff that
represents the normal or the good.
or just like, oh, they did this really good thing. If you want to talk about that, they're like, nope, we're obviously going to
like we're discussing why would someone do it. Just look at any sort of political campaign.
Yeah.
People have that shit like
all the time. Yeah, and that's not necessarily new with Twitter.
It's ammo for them, right?
Yeah.
I want to put on "Baby It's Cold Outside." I'm sure one day, many years down the road, maybe in my 40s, they're gonna bring up this video of me being on the fence with "Baby It's Cold Outside," and I'll lose a job.
Again, my stance on like people's reaction to this and stuff
and baby,
and it's just really annoying about picking and choosing, but how also like it's really there's a lot of hypocritical stuff, like I mean we've talked about this so many times, but the James Gunn thing, it happened all those years ago. He's addressed this, he's apologized, like blah blah blah. People grow, people change, and all of us have said, done, tweeted, Facebook, like whatever, lots of things 10 years ago that we would not like. There's things that come up on Facebook. So here's what you posted 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And like instantly it makes me cringe.
Well,
and
because
I delete it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it's frustrating that,
your values change, your mentality's evolved. Like to a certain degree, you can, and we've talked about this so many times before.
Exactly.
But like you can't hold them permanently accountable for something you said like X amount of years ago because they were a different person then.
But then you have to go back to like, how long is long enough? What is the range of time that you can say, okay, 6 years ago you said this and it was ridiculous and offensive and homophobic and blah blah blah.
I think if you're willing to go back and look at it and say, yeah, like I no longer agree with that stance, I was wrong in that moment. I think if you can openly admit that, and this kind of brings back to what Corey was saying, like Kevin had the opportunity to be like, okay, well, I obviously was wrong back then, and he didn't take it. So, like, I think if you can go back and say, yeah, I messed up. Like, obviously, that was wrong. I was wrong at the time. Like, who knows what my mentality was at that point. If you can go back, it shouldn't be like, well, it's too late, Corey.
The Academy said all you have to do is apologize.
But then in his tweet, he was like, he I don't know, I forget.
He quit first and then he apologized.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Like sorry. It was a sorry, not sorry. Yeah. But like not that, but it was just.
I'm sorry you got so worked out of shape.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not. He said he wasn't going to apologize, and then in the tweet he just apologized, and it was just. It's like, well, you could have done that also and still hosted.
Well, like going back to like what we've been saying ad nauseum here, it's not so much, it's not the words, it's the intent of the words. If it was just like, again, he said things you said 10 years ago with no intent, it was just like using a slur or whatever, it wouldn't be as bad as what everyone keeps harping on is like the physical act of beating your child because you thought he was gay. And then his brushing it off, it's the trolls who found it, not what he said.
Yeah.
That's what's making the news. Again, it's not the comments. There was that one, the intent, the imagery that it creates, and then his, like, whatever you guys found on the internet, it's the trolls, screw the trolls, yada. I'm done talking about this. While he's, laying in bed shirtless with gold chains on. And
yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, dude.
I've grown, I've evolved.
Like you can make these videos and not be like a little douche about it either.
Yeah,
but
again, it goes back to the intent, not the words. If you just said, yeah, I'm sorry for that stuff, it was a long time ago, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I made a bad joke.
Yeah, and like I read this thing also,
like Roseanne made a bad joke, right?
Roseanne made a bad joke. I think we went a little bit over the top with Roseanne.
I read this thing and it was just talking about how there are, there's certain members of the LGBTQ community that, kind of in a similar sense of, certain people saying the N-word and stuff like that. It's like most people can kind of figure out that there wasn't like malicious intent, when you say it. So it's like certain people can say a joke and, people can maybe laugh or at least brush it off a little easier. Maybe not laugh, but definitely brush it off a little easier.
Like, come on, like, you know better.
Yeah, exactly. And where, the way he said it, I guess it didn't seem like, it did seem like there was malicious intent, and that's why it was such a bigger deal. It's not just two people saying the exact same thing and one person getting a free pass and one person getting picked on because of, any other reason, like, race or
have you seen what Nick Cannon's been doing?
Yeah, like I think that's
this person said it too.
Yeah, like how is that better than finding Kevin Hart's tweets in the first place? Because that's what you're doing now, Nick Cannon. You're going around trying to find old things that other people have done.
Yeah, it comes a witch hunt at that point.
Yeah.
Well, that's what someone was saying too, is now basically you've like created what they're calling like the Kevin Hart effect, where now any person who said anything at any time now you can never host the Oscars because you're saying, well, this person said something that's similar. This person said something that's similar. This person said something that's similar.
It's gotten too much, and it ties into the baby it's cold outside thing, and ties into a whole bunch of stuff that we've talked in previous episodes where we're just hit this extreme where we're just at this point we're just looking for things,
for something shitty. Like nothing can be good. This is why we can't have nice things.
It is literally, this is why we can't have nice things. And I'm sure in like 10 years from now, like when Hollywood's a barren wasteland because nobody's there anymore, they've all been sent to Twitter jail for making bad jokes. And then we wonder why there's no good music or why there's no funny movies anymore, or, all of this.
No one can say anything ever.
Yeah, and I understand, like, again, there's obviously good steps that have been made, and we've come a long way on certain things and certain issues, and then we continue to push it to the point where, okay, now it's getting a little too ridiculous and you're almost harming the cause rather than helping it, because it's almost tempted to go in the other direction, because it's going to hit an extreme at some point where there's going to be some sort of bounce back. There's going to be some sort of inverse effect where it's like, okay, we've gone way too far
doing what you're trying to prevent.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's it. That's it for rants. I wanted my last open caller to be, 2018 friendly. So I found so I got to talk about this quickly. I was looking for
There's no time limit, man. You can take as long as you want.
Yeah, man.
I was looking.
Your show.
I was looking for a song. I heard it in a bar in Buffalo 2 years ago, probably maybe in November, something like that, around this time. And when you're looking for a song, but you can only hum like about 5 notes, like forget the words, like you have no idea what the words are. And you just kind of have that one little line in your head and you're like, okay, like shit, like that's not enough to go on.
Did you Shazam yourself humming?
No,
5
I wish.
notes?
I wish I was that good. So anyways, like every now and then, maybe after a couple soda pops, I try to look for this song. And I always come up short.
Were they diet?
For some reason, I always land on the singer Paul Carrick. He's never the right one. Sometimes I end up on like Michael Bolton, but that wasn't it either. So anyways, finally today, after 2 years, I was sitting in the McDonald's.
Where did you hear this song? Like bar, restaurant?
This was like
down.
It was Anchor Bar in Buffalo, New York, and it's like a restaurant type.
Okay,
bar.
So
it's like the wing bar.
It's not like a it's like
Well, we'll find out what song it is.
This wasn't like club. It wasn't like it was like Cherry Pie on in a strip club. Like it was pretty like in the general tone of.
Then we'll circle back as to why you're in Buffalo.
I was going to a football game with my family. Wow. Pretty assumption. Okay. All right. So anyways, I was at McDonald's today getting my paid for McDonald's meal.
What?
By, someone gifted me. A good friend. And so, anyways, I was chewing down on my quarter pounder, and I could hear a little faint on like my ears, like picked up. I was like, no, like that's the song. Like after 2 years, that's the song. So I took out my Shazam, and there was a lot of background noise with like kids and like, you know, the news on, because that's McDonald's.
Because he was in the playland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was literally sitting
And
in the
the echo of the slide was really
Yeah,
wasn't
just
helping.
hucking balls at kids in the ball pit.
Terry, stop sliding. Anyway, so I got the song, and it's that song Valerie by Steve Winwood, I think it was it. It's like a pretty, like, you know, Valerie, you know, that song, which I knew that song this whole time, but I didn't know it was the same song as the notes I was humming. Anyways, long story short, I've been listening to that song all goddamn day. That's my story. That's it. Welcome to Open Caller.
Do you hate the song now? Like,
Not yet.
No,
no.
he's always hated it.
I'm still, you know, when you listen to a song over and over again, I'm still in the God, like that song's so awesome mood.
This is my jam.
I'm still got like a day and a half where I'm like, okay, like I can never listen to this song ever again.
Maybe that's what the radio station should do. Just play "Baby It's Cold Outside" on repeat
Till
for
everyone's
4
sick of
days,
it,
and then
and
then
nobody
everyone's
wants
just
to
like,
hear
you know
it.
what? Everyone is on the side of let's never play this song again.
It's
That's how
actually
you
a
do
crazy idea. Man, we come up with good ideas on
It
this
was like
show.
She Bangs by William Hung.
Yeah,
God, they played that?
Every iteration of that song.
Mambo number
All both
5.
of them.
I was just gonna say Mambo number.
Mambo number 5 was the worst.
Oh man,
What was his B side? Like the second track, the non
Mambo number 6. I have no idea.
Lou Vegas or
Lou
William
Bega.
Hung?
Yeah,
I think it's
Lou
Lou
Bega.
Bega.
William Hung had another one too. What was?
Yeah, Chris. Did he not have a Christmas album?
He did have a Christmas album.
but he had a second song that was
Just as good.
well. Yeah, I mean, you could say it was just as good. It wasn't great.
Wow, Lou Bega did a Disney version of Mambo number 5.
Whoa. A little bit of Mickey.
Disney Mambo number 5.
No,
A little bit of Daffy.
A
a little bit of Daisy.
little bit of Angela by the Thing.
All right, Daffy's Looney Tunes. Donald is Disney, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's another, like, if you want to talk about like Baby It's Cold Outside, go back and watch all like the Looney Tunes Christmas specials and all those episodes. If we want to start picking apart stuff that's in like the 1940s and 1950s,
Bugs Bunny used to dress up like a girl
Yep.
and make it with a mud all the time.
yeah, maybe he was too ahead of the time.
Sexual. Their Christmas outside of Rudolph, watching like the Christmas Vacation and things like that.
I watched Love Actually while setting up the tree with Emily, which is what we've been doing for the past few years. And then that was at her place, and then Home Alone during the setup tree at my place. Yeah, it's just
nobody comes down on Home Alone.
No, it's if
I'll
anyone
come down on Home Alone.
Yeah,
if you leaving
your kid at home unattended. Nobody comes down on that. I guess we're still another 10, 15 years away from that being banned.
that, yeah. And then doing it again the next year.
Oh man, was there?
Doing it again with Home Alone 2.
Well, you got to commend the movie for like the screenwriters for like back then at least figuring out like the means of justifying like how there could be nobody to go check on him, how there could be no way of getting a hold of him, like like that brief scene of the storm taking out the power lines and the guy we'll get your power restored but the phone lines are a mess. It could be another couple of weeks before we get that fixed.
Can you just go to somebody's house and make a phone call?
Yeah, but his next door neighbor was Shovelly Joe.
Yeah,
it's freaked out, man. You can't.
But that wasn't like his only
bodies,
neighbor.
Man.
Go to a different neighbor.
No, but the one time
I don't know. That doesn't check out. The shrug.
The
shrug episode.
This is the guy, the kid who thought he made his family disappear through a wish.
Yeah.
So to him, nothing happened. Like, this is just what happens. Oh, well, I guess they're gone. It's the family overseas trying to get a hold of folks.
Yeah,
but yeah,
irresponsible mother.
It is odd to think that an entire neighborhood would go out of town for Christmas. And nobody stays back except for
that entire street. Nobody's home.
And then the wet bandits robbing every house in the middle of the day. Not a care in the world, staking out houses. You wonder why there would be like some heating and cooling truck in an entire neighborhood for a week on end.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong with that movie.
Yeah.
And you can tell that movie was done was pre 9/11 just by the fact that they have 45 minutes to the airport, an international flight, and they get there with just seconds to spare without going through customs.
And they made it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then the mom taking that one Kate or whatever, her count of the kids for her word. Like, I count them all. All right, I guess he's not in our van. He's in the other one. He's definitely here.
Oh man.
Negligence.
And then when they're on the flight and they're trying to figure out what they forgot, and he's like, I didn't close the garage. Oh well, cars are gone. Big deal. We lost the cars, everything else in there. Snowblower, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's not
what are we gonna do now?
The 6-year-old, or the however old Macaulay Culkin is in that movie, the 8-year-old child who hasn't shut up for the first 20 minutes of the fucking film, all of a sudden is dead silent. Nothing wrong with that movie.
And no one like at any point in his like family's like outings, and when like they're kind of a dick to that kid.
Yeah. Wow.
Uncle's calling him a jerk.
Yeah, seriously.
Kids are calling that he's a disease. Yeah. He's incompetent.
Yeah. Forget baby, it's cold outside. Home Alone. Target on your back.
He is talking to himself in the movie. He does have signs of being a sociopath. He shoots toys with a rifle.
Yeah, that's like promoting gun violence.
And just the entire like booby trapping of his house. Like normal
he's a masochist, that's for sure.
Do that.
Even back then.
Well.
When was that okay? When did we booby trapping?
I am standing up for all the B&E victims.
Yeah.
That are trying to bust into houses.
You hear about all these cases of like people who rob houses and they get hurt and then they sue the house owner.
Yeah, that's so messed up.
Yeah, should be like the Home Alone clause. Like
that's a great line. That's a great line in Liar Liar.
Yeah, if you start being in a house, you are under the Home Alone clause. Whatever happens to you, like if you get a tarantula on your face, that is on you.
It's on you. If you get hit with a paint can on a wire, like, hey man, you did this to yourself.
If you get electrocuted to the point where you can see your own skeleton, tough man. You robbed the wrong house.
How did they not die?
Seriously.
Yeah.
The guy gets like a flamethrower style thing on his head
and he just takes it for like 10 seconds.
Like, and then, I'll just stick my head in the snow and it's all good now.
And then I'll proceed to try to rob this house.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep going.
Yeah, they have a poor they don't know when they're need to walk away
when they're beat.
Yeah,
they're pot committed at this point.
Yeah,
they were pot committed because they spent so long outside the friggin' house in a fucking heating and cooling thing.
Hey man, that's that house right there. That
had to be that house.
It was their white whale.
And I don't recall seeing much good stuff in that home aside from that 13-inch tube TV in the den that he's watching.
It was a huge, just massive house. We didn't see all of it. There was obviously there was obviously a pretty sweet train set at least that Michael Jordan was riding around on. So there's that. There.
And they had a ton of mannequins. They have one a store or something.
Who has all that stuff? And how, if they've been staking out the house, how do they not see him setting all of that up? Just what's he doing with that piece of cardboard? And nothing wrong with that movie.
Nothing wrong with that.
And never once did I see a big spool of string that he grabbed from the basement to tie on to all those mannequins to do all his puppeteering.
Yeah. Everything's set up.
They should have had like a throwaway line of, this Kevin, he's a little shit, but man, can he fucking puppeteer?
When did you learn to puppeteer like that?
The things they teach these kids at schools.
Well, the things they used to teach us kids.
Right.
Now they don't teach.
Now it's all play-based learning.
Yeah.
They learn nothing. Also watch Jingle All the Way.
Oh, I have that one's that'll be in the December 20s for me.
Area.
Such good lines from Sinbad. Especially throws out that his wife slept with everybody at the post office except him.
Did you guys ever see that thing going around where like everybody remembers a movie called Shazam with Sinbad in it? Yeah. And then that movie just never existed and we all remembered it wrong?
Yep.
Shazam had
it was Kazam.
Shazam had Shaq.
Yeah. But for some reason everyone remembers a movie with Sinbad called Shazam.
Yeah.
Didn't.
I saw that and I was like, have I seen that one?
Yeah, I was literally like, no, like I've seen that movie.
I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I just skipped it.
Yeah.
That's like some Last Action Hero fake poster level greatness. With Terminator with Stallone, not Schwarzenegger.
All right, can we talk about the trailer, please?
Which trailer?
The one you put your ATV on?
Yeah, that's right. The Avengers 4 trailer.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
You have not seen it. You are the...
You know me. Movies. But...
Well, it's only been viewed 289 million times in one day.
Yeah, well, they're missing one.
Michelle having 89 million, me having the 200.
I am so... I don't think I've ever been so excited after watching a trailer that showed me literally nothing. Nothing. Like...
It showed you something.
Some things. But like I watched. So Corey, you have messaged me, hey, trailer dropped. I'm like, cool, on it. And I watched it and I was just pumped up the entire time. And I still it showed, I have no idea what's gonna happen.
Just shows you like coming 2019.
It's just
a title reveal.
It's just the A from Avengers for 2.5 minutes.
Well, that was the Ultron one, was like that, right? It just voiceover and Iron Man helmet getting forged into looking like Ultron. That was it.
Exactly.
That had me.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Why is it that trailers do that? Why? Like, there's the one end where trailers, they show too much. You've already seen 90% of the movie before you even take a seat in the theater. Stuff like that. Obviously, those are shitty, and that's what the next wave of Avengers trailers are going to be. They're just going to show more and more. But then there's this one which shows pretty much nothing and has gotten the most views in a 24-hour span ever.
No.
How does that work?
Brand awareness.
It's fair. But a lot of people, are like already getting on the superhero fatigue train.
I'm
not. Hell no.
Well, I think you gotta look at it this way. You're dealing with a part of a movie that's coming out after like one of the biggest movies of all time, where the heroes lose.
Yeah.
So they're good.
Wait a minute.
Or they won.
Yeah. If you haven't
depends
seen it,
depends on who you thought the hero of the movie was. Yeah, like someone said, we're at a stage in the superhero, I guess, cosmos now, where DC and Marvel have flipped.
Yeah, they're going in opposite directions.
DC is trying to lighten things up, and Marvel, after Infinity War, is now like with Endgame, is just somber, depressing. Obviously, it's gonna be like that for one more movie.
Yeah, but that's the only one.
But yet, there's still not the love that DC wants at this point.
No.
So like everyone, they have high hopes for Aquaman, although I don't.
I have high hopes. I just don't have high expectations. Like I am hoping that it is a really good movie and a well done movie, but like I don't expect it to be.
I don't have an interest. I haven't seen any of that's with the exception of Wonder Woman, and I don't think I've seen any of the DC stuff. It just doesn't look appealing.
Yeah, well, they're all crap. And
Wow.
And Wonder Woman, well, it's the truth. When you
the hard take of the podcast.
Yeah, and it's not a, it doesn't have to do with me just liking Marvel more.
We all had DC movies first. We had the Dawn of Superman. We had the Tim Burton Batmans, the Joel Schumacher Batmans, Chris Nolan Batmans.
So there's been a lot of non-Marvel movies that have done well, like superhero movies that have done all right. It's just the Marvel has figured out a way to make them very good, and now a mediocre superhero movie looks like crap. And I feel like the more I see Wonder Woman, the less good it gets.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, we saw it in the theater and opened, like, hey, it's not bad. And then
I enjoyed it.
Pretty mediocre at best.
And then now watching it, I'm like, it's like not that great of a movie. Like, it's a lot of stuff doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
I'd rather watch Home Alone.
Oh, that's
nothing wrong with that movie.
No plot holes. Everything makes sense. Just like how you can get onto a flight to another city by just dropping your fucking passport. Is he your dad? Yeah, that's him back there. That's the back of his head. Oh yeah, enjoy your flight to New York.
Different time.
Was it though?
But we can't evaluate something based on the time that it was made. It was a different time. Anyways, here's Baby It's Cold Outside.
Traffic and weather on the ones. I always thought I'd work for a radio station.
I think you would have done good in radio.
I think you still can.
Yeah, hey.
Just reformat the podcast as like a radio show.
Remember the cue?
Like 5 minutes. We'll talk for like 5 minutes, and then we'll throw it to a song.
Bring back the cue.
I still have all those promos.
Do you?
That I cut, yeah.
Welcome to the queue.
That's right. Traffic weather are the ones.
I think my dream was always to do like one of those wacky over the top radio shows where it's like a lot of props and air horns.
Like Brian and Stewie.
You gotta do the what do they call it? The morning dew or something like that.
Dog and the baby or something.
Oh yeah, Dingo and the baby.
Dingo and the
baby. That's awesome. Yeah.
Oh man.
And then just cut it to that random clip from Philadelphia. They told Ed Rebecca had AIDS. It's really, I did not think it was that clip.
Yeah. That's awesome. Too good.
Anything to promote, Ryan, now that you're leaving the show and on to bigger and better things?
Nah, delete all my footage.
We already did that. We're deleting stuff and be like, "Oh, why are they doing that?"
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Don't delete it.
We'll never host the Oscars now.
Yeah.
One day I'll send you a code word, and that'll be the code to delete all. Basically, wipe your hard drives.
This is self-destruct code.
Corey, I'm hosting the Oscars. Gather the evidence.
Oh God, is this a 0 or an O? I don't know.
I can't wait for being accused of being racist against the Golden Girls. That will be my Waterloo.
Oh man.
We just started rewatching the Golden Girls now.
How is it?
It's alright.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's alright.
But how is the theme song?
Well, yeah, is the theme song good though?
Every time I hear the song, I think of Ryan losing his shit over the fact that
yeah,
over something that wasn't even real.
It's like, yeah. I cannot believe Sinbad was not in Shazam.
Just wakes up in a cold sweat. It wasn't a movie? I thought it was.
Yeah, no, I don't really have any send-offs. It's been fun.
It's been real. You'll be back.
Yeah, you'll be
I'm
back.
sure I will be. I'm sure
you'll be guest starring.
Yeah, it's not like a permanent goodbye. It's more just a...
I don't want to do this anymore.
Get the hell out of here.
Just don't want to hold us back.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not PC enough for open collar.
Or you're too PC.
It's true.
It's just never in the middle.
No, there's no happy mediums. Oh, right. So in honor of Ryan's last full-time occasional appearance on Open Collar, let's dig into the vault and pull out an old animal attack story.
Yes.
I will remember you. Okay, I'm done.
No, we need the graduation song.
Which one's that?
No, we need
Green Day.
Time of Your Life.
Yeah. Slideshow of me just like
like this the whole time.
Yeah.
Or the Ryan.
Another turning point. me like passed out on the bar counter. Yeah. Ryan 2018 to 2018.
Wow. Yeah, that's you in a nutshell.
Thanks,
All
guys.
right.
It's the nicest thing
attack.
you've ever said about me. All right, animal attack story.
We'll have like a 21 balloon salute. Just tossing attacks at balloons.
21 kitty cannon salute.
Make sure to hit those barrels. What a great game.
It was a great game.
We need to get a geometric golfer tournament going.
Oh my god.
All right, let's hear this animal story.
Man breaks into crocodile enclosure and things go as you would expect. At least the title itself doesn't mask anything. So this took place in St. Augustine, Florida. Authorities say a man was found injured after breaking into a Florida zoo and jumping into a crocodile enclosure. The Florida Times Union reports St. Augustine police responded Tuesday morning to reports of vandalism at the Alligator Farm Zoological Park. Police say officers found blood and clothing in the zoo's newly opened Nile crocodile exhibit. There was no sign of a victim, but police had received calls about a man in his underwear crawling across a nearby yard. Security video shows one of the crocodiles biting the man on the leg, and the man told the officers he had been bitten by an alligator. Authorities did not release the man's identity. Authorities say the man caused about $5,000 in damage in the at the 125-year-old zoo. Police say he was hospitalized and faces vandalism charge. So, word to the wise: don't hop into an enclosure filled with alligators.
And without pants on.
I just played like 4 games of Kin in there while you're telling that story.
I didn't hear a single thing you said.
Something about a gator.
Who's gay? Yeah, that goes back.
Some kind of tube.
Well, Ryan, it's been real.
Thanks, guys. I hope we can get together again someday.
Wish you well in your future endeavors. I don't, though. So when's that live stream that you've been saying you wanted to do going to kick off?
Well, step 1, get my microphone working. Step 2, delete all previous evidence of me ever being on video on the internet. Step 3,
struggling with the microphone.
Yeah. Step 3, I need to probably buy another computer so that I can actually stream properly. So we'll see. I might be too busy. I don't know.
With?
The girlfriend's probably moving in pretty soon. So yeah, I gotta be dealing with that.
Dummy, I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Don't do it.
You still have time.
Yeah, so that's happening, and then of course work and adult stuff. Not like adult stuff like that, like actually being an adult.
Not like After Dark.
Yeah,
not like Open Color After Dark.
Not Open Color After Dark. That's a whole different show.
So what you're telling me is you got a part-time job at the Adult Fun Superstore.
I do it.
Where the customer comes first.
Or sometimes not at all.
Alrighty. No, that's Open Color, everybody. All right.
Stay tuned for the Hot 9 at 9.
Yeah. Next time on Open Color.
Does
Ryan come back? Stay tuned. Yes, he does.
You'll be back. You forgot your cargo pants.
I knew it. One more kitten cannon before I go offline.
Let us know your score.
It's right in the Venus flytrap, 150 feet. I knew this game was too complex. It's a young man's game.
Link that to me. I want to play a few rounds after.
Okay, deal.
All right. That is Open Caller for this week. Follow the show socially, facebook.com/Open Caller Podcast, Twitter, Instagram, Open Caller Pod, youtube.com/GoBNC for Vishal and Ryan. This is Corey reminding you all to keep it casual.
And Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Kwanzaa and the rest.
Kwanzaa.
Crazy Kwanzaa.
Got that in.
Tip top 10.